Hello and welcome to Retro Racing Reviews, where this time out we're going to be taking a look at Cranks and Goggles. Now, this is a game that's just come out of Steam Early Access and is now effectively in open beta. I decided to give this a go because, quite frankly, the aesthetic of sort of pre-war race cars really appealed, and there's not an awful lot that's out there. I mean, you've got probably the mods for games like R Factor. You've got Spirit of Speed 1937, which I will hopefully get around to in the not too distant future, because I've heard it's terrible, although I don't own a Dreamcast and apparently it's even worse on that. So this is pretty much going for a niche that nobody else has really delved into all that much. So let's have a quick look through it. I'll firstly just have a look at what the developers are saying. So just to I'll just leave this up on screen just so you can see what's currently happening with the game. So hopefully they're going to bring online play, more cars and tracks, and have a storyline as well, which will be good. I'll be looking forward to that. So I got this in December, I think just after it had come out of early access. So yeah, I did have a go on it previously and was very impressed. So let's just have a look and continue the game I was on beforehand. So this is what you've currently got. And in the garage, I currently own. Let's have a look. Yep. So I currently own the Woolrich 25 and the MGT 2, and you've got other cars from different countries around here. You've got the Wolfgang. I wonder what that could be. And these are the Class D cars that you start off the game with. Now, you go all the way through to Class A, and as you can see, they do look more powerful and generally more awesome as things go. And obviously, as you get up to this kind of stuff, that's pretty much Mercedes and Auto Union, that sort of thing. Damply, yeah, it's going to be a Bentley. I'm going to paint it British Racing Green when I get my hands on one. But yeah, so overall, you can see going forward that there's going to be plenty of stuff to get my teeth into later on. Now, I can afford a Class C car at this point, but I'm going to stick with the basics for the moment. So, by way of tuning, you've got a couple of levels of upgrades. So you see here, that's the car unupgraded, so quite well down on speed. Then it boosts the speed, and finally the handling and acceleration. So I'm going to put that in British Racing Green. So I'm going to select that. And then you've got the multiplayer, which I'm not going to try out for the time being. You've got the time trials, which I can't get anywhere near the best times, simply because I'm driving a Class D car and trying to beat the times at that stage. So having a look at the career mode, you've got your various classes of race. So these are the Class D races, and then you've got the Gentleman's Cup. You've got the Class C races, and then the Mediterranean Grand Prix, and you see that all of the artwork is done very much in that sort of old retro poster style. If you've been to the London E-Prix, you'll see that they did that when they started doing the posters for there as well, and it looks fantastic. I mean, I really love this aesthetic. And then finally, you get the. I would expect this would be things like Monza, the Nürburgring, that kind of thing, and then finally you get the World Championships as the multi-race event. Now, The European Championship is quite interesting because back in the 1930s there wasn't a World Championship, but there were plenty of Grand Prix. One of the things I intend to do going forward is a sort of a history of top class open wheel motorsport going back all the way to sort of the early days, the early 1900s, and the first Grand Prix. And in the 1930s there was actually a championship. It ran, I believe, 1931 and 32, and then sort of 35 through to 38. So it's one of those ones where, you know, this is very much trying to sort of replicate that feel. So what I'm going to do is, as I've already gone through and done some of the Class D stuff, I'm going to give the Gentleman's Cup a go, just so you can get an idea of how this all works. So we've got 3 races, and let's have a go at this and see how it works.
3, 2, 1.
Now you can see, obviously, the graphics have that sort of, it's a slightly kind of cartoony feel to them, but I really like it. I mean, I think it's simple, it's straightforward, it does the job really nicely. The obviously old Grand Prix cars weren't really, I don't know, designed for going around corners all that well. I mean, you're talking about thin tyres. I haven't played this for a little while, so I've kind of forgotten how to drive. So let's just see if I can get back on the podium again. And although I've modified the car, it's still not the best handling thing. Now, each of the cars does have different handling characteristics, and some are far easier to control than others. And some of them aren't. And you'll see that there's obviously visual cues about when you're braking, traction, and the like. So I have to say that I'm playing this with a joypad, with a sort of Xbox 360 pad. And it's a lot of fun. It's I mean, the cars are easy to work out how they control. You do need to use the accelerator and the brake. You can't just lift off the throttle. And because you can't rely on them actually staying upright, as you see that I almost half rolled my car, you've got to actually use the brake to slow the cars down. So unlike some arcade games where you can just sort of coast around and just sort of get by with lifting off and sort of sliding around, you can't really do that. Also, I love the plinky plonky music. It really does capture that sort of almost like old silent film sort of vibe. The graphics are simple, but they're clean. You can see everything that's going on, and overall, I think visually and thematically, it's presented incredibly well.
3, 2, 1.
I mean, the cars do sound a little bit like somebody just blowing raspberries, but you can't win them all, I think is what I'd say. Careful. I say the AI can be a little bit pushy and shovey from time to time, but overall they tend to be, reasonably sensible. I'm not continually complaining about what they get up to, as I would mention in some games. Remember Race Driver Grid having particularly egregious AI at various points. So across the line to start lap 2. Now obviously my car is quite quick, so I've just sort of got to get it pointed in a straight line as fast as I can. Oops, wind out. Now this is something I mean, despite the fact it's quite a simple game. I mean, I did put quite a few hours into playing this when I first got it, and it was only really because I went away for Christmas that I stopped. It's one of those ones where certainly the driving model it's not massively deep. I mean, it's not exactly anything that I think you'd write home about. It's not a Jeff Crammond game, but it's certainly got enough depth in there to keep you coming back. It's very, very satisfying when you get things right. Now, obviously, you can see I'm sort of doing a little bit better here as he nearly drives straight off the cliff. Don't think I'm going to catch the leader, but I'm going to give it a go. Lost a bit too much time, I think, at the start of the race, sort of messing about. I'll have to keep finishing second. There's no harm in that. Well, I have to say, considering this is a pretty small operation, and this is just come out of Greenlight, I'm really impressed. I mean, I have to say that. As far as I'm concerned, this is just the kind of game I think Steam should be producing. I think that.
3, 2, 1.
Now, I've not driven this track before, so I might be a little bit useless. Whoops! Come on. The fact I said I was going to be useless shouldn't excuse the fact that I managed to be useless from the word go. Okay, come on. There we go. Decent length of straight, so I should be able to haul back some of that gap. Oh no! Messed up again. Oh no! Doing badly. Let's say, oh, I can't see where I'm going. Okay, so I've got a little bit of time to pull things back, but yeah, definitely could have done a bit better there. And this is the downside of using hay bales around the sides of your track. You definitely can't sort of just bounce off the scenery. Speaking of which, unfortunately, I think my poor little driver would have been killed quite some time ago. And it does mean that when you're driving effectively down this way, it doesn't give you a lot of time to react sometimes. I'm being rubbish. Yeah, like I said, this game is not easy. Do not come in and expect to be able to. So don't come in and expect to be able to, I love that. Blocked him off. I don't expect to be able to sort of be awesome at this from the word go. It might look quite straightforward, but because of the fact that these cars do not give you the kind of grip that you really need out of something like this. You know, it's difficult. It's a hard game. It's good though. It's well worth it. And obviously the computer cars are not immune from their own snafus. Oh, that was rubbish. Yes, I know I'm terrible. Cones! More cones, more boxes. No! Oh well. Let's see with the championship. Never mind. Oh, second place. I'll take that. That's not it's not too bad. I think I might go back and have a crack at that at some other point. So let's just hop up to class C and see what I can get for my money. Now that does look pretty cool. Let me give that a whirl. Not quite sure what colours that's supposed to be, but right, okay. So let's use that one, and let's go and do some more career stuff. Okay, so a track with snow on it. Given the car's already handled. Oh wow! This feels like the ice levels on Mario. Oh dear! There's no grip. There's no grip at all. Come on, out of my way! Out of my way. That's it. Okay, there's a definite difference between this and the Class D machines. Definitely feel it's a bit more responsive. Still slidey as all heck though. Come on. Nearly. Yep, spent a bit too much time power sliding there, so let's see if I can haul this guy back in the twisty bits. I think my car handles slightly better, but it doesn't have the power. Although if I do that, it's not going to help me. Okay, I think I can get him. I just need to stop doing that, I guess. Yeah, as I say, this car could handle. This car handles okay, but definitely could do it a little bit faster. Oops. Oh no! Where have I gone? What am I doing? Oop, Oh, that went terribly. Oops. Oh, never mind. I'll take third. The narrow road between the sandy beaches of Perel and the green fields of Gardot offers nothing short of the greatest challenge. Are they trying to say we're at Le Mans? It is Le Mans. Oh, no. Oh, on the Riviera. Or something akin. Come on, out my way. Oops. Ah. It's definitely easier to drive in some directions than others in this game. My car does like skidding out. It's very, very tail happy. Try and be a little bit more less lively on the brake and throttle. I was being a little bit cheeky there. Okay, lap 1. What? Oh dear. I could be doing a bit better with this, couldn't I? Come on. He goes for the inside. Whoops. I'm glad I'm not a racing driver from the 30s, so I don't think I'd have lasted very long, to be honest. So, to be honest with you, I mean, in terms of trying to give this game an overall review, I mean, what you see is what you get, and this is what you get, and it's really cool. I'm a big fan. I think this is something that is nice and simple and straightforward, and it's all packaged really nicely. And I think the team behind this should be really pleased with themselves, because this is a really fun little game. Like I said, I'm a big fan. It's something that's entertaining. Overall, can't really have too many complaints about stuff like the AI. It does the job absolutely fine. It's not, it's not horribly harsh or unfair. It does, it gives you a challenge. And I think overall, I'd love to play this against people online. I've got some other achievements. I don't quite know what they are, but I'm happy with that. So let's just quickly go back to the garage and see if I can upgrade this. Oh, apparently, if I boost all the way, the handling goes to pot. Interesting. I'll leave that for the time being. So, just to show you the time trials, apparently I'm on 19th in the rankings now. I was 16th, but never mind. So, these are the ones they've got. So, I'm just going to do that one. So, the target time is 59 seconds. And I'm doing this in, here we go. So I'm doing this in a Class C car. I did it in Class D before. Pretty fun track this actually, I really like it. Oops. Now the thing that you have to recall about these machines from sort of the earlier days of kind of Grand Prix racing as opposed to kind of Formula racing, which is what they had from 1950 onwards, was effectively that they often had a lot of power and a chassis that was not really all that equipped to cope. And certainly you could have the Mercedes and auto unions at the time having easily more than 500 brake horsepower, which considering they were working off pretty narrow tyres, and although they were innovating quite a lot, you were still looking at pretty primitive machines overall by certainly obviously by modern standards, but stuff that we take for granted even on our road cars, they just didn't have them. So this era of Grand Prix racing was very much about about hitting trees. Yes, there was some tree hitting going on. Wow, here we go. Yep. Not as easy as it looks, folks. But yes, it was very much a triumph of horsepower over chassis. It's the I mean these things could easily hit 170 miles an hour. I've got I think a faster lap than I did previously, so best lap 101. Well, there we go. That was all right. So in theory, this should be, I'd say, a reasonable degree faster than my previous efforts. Then again, this car is quite hard to control. It's often the case of not necessarily buying the car with the best stats. It's all about buying one that you're happy with controlling. I might switch this for something else later on. I mean, this isn't sort of bad workman blaming his tools, but it's more just a case of they do have differences. I switched out from the first car that they give you to a slightly different one because I just found it it handled better overall and was just a better thing to drive. Oops. So I'm not sure if I can actually manage to beat my times from the C class, so the D class car, which might be a bit embarrassing. And when this slides, it does come to an almost complete stop, so it's very hard to get it stopped. Bit of a Scandinavian flick there. Whoop. Yeah, I'm definitely struggling with this. Just gonna put that to a stop and go to complete event. So that was my fastest lap. So it's gonna hopefully upload. Tell me where I am. Now hopefully. Let's continue. Oh yeah, back up to 17th again. So I need to get a much better car before I do anything further with that. So options wise, yeah, that's basically I would say is about as good as it looks. Well, actually. Let's just give that a go and just see what the... Oh, okay. That adds a few different things. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not as a game. It's not going to win any special prizes for. It's not like AAA graphics. But yeah, no, definitely can see the difference. And obviously, as you can probably anticipate, it doesn't really affect performance. I do like this. Look at that, 3 abreast. Come on, off the wall. Goes to the inside. Oh no! It's all gone horribly wrong. Come on, that was my racing line. Well, I mean, it should have been if you weren't already, there. Oh, look, beautiful move down the inside. Oh yes! Haha! Lovely. Damn, he's gonna get me on the straight. No! No! Nah! No! Haha! Gotcha! Go on, check. Oh, well, okay. The game has apparently crashed. So there we go. I guess the game has decided to bite the dust in protest. Obviously, the graphical quality going up may have reduced the reliability somewhat, but there you have it. That's Cranks and Goggles. I'd highly recommend that you check it out. And if you liked this video, please subscribe to my channel, share the video around, like it and comment on it, and I will see you next time out. Thanks so much. Bye.